Hello there, it's nice to have you here, and I'm here again to talk about my readings. And in today's video, I just want to share with you guys my readings, what I have read, and what I will read later. So let's get started. As you guys know, I'm studying English to reach the C2 level. This semester, I'm dedicated to English only. I'm not learn any other language. I'm just learn English because I want to be proficient in English before moving to something else. And it is that basically my study is not going as I wanted. Like I'm not studying daily properly. Some days I study, some days I don't study, but almost every day I read, and in every single day I'm consuming content. So I'm not like away from the language. Even in the days that I'm not studying, I'm consuming the language and consuming content. It is important to have like this mentality in mind that you are trying to learn the language and you need to study. Like you need some activity study to become better in the language. I can't just rely on uh, input, because if I just rely on input, I will not be proficient, or at least I will not be proficient in the time that I want to. My goal with this 6 months of study English is to reach some level of proficiency and to be able to communicate myself better and etc. The C2 is not the end of the language learning process. Actually, the language learning process takes our whole life. Like if you really want to dedicate yourself to the language that you are learning, you should um, like use all your life to dedicate to that language, you know. And it is that. Today, as I said, I want to talk about my readings. So let's get started. I already said to you guys that I was reading Alice Adventures in Wonderland, and I'm here to say that I finished it. I already read everything in this book. It's a tiny book. It's not that big. It's 100 and something pages. I finished it. Was not very difficult, I should say, but also was not very easy though. Was not like a complete easy book, because um, there is some words mainly to the animals that I'm not used to it. So, for example, here in Alice, there is a lot of birds, and the author just mentioned the name of the birds, but I don't know the name of birds in English. Actually, probably there are some birds that I don't know, even in Portuguese, which are my native language, or even if I know, I would not know with details. But as I said, my goal is mainly to do extensive reading. I want to immerse myself in the reading, so it's become natural to me. My goal is not to do this activity reading that I will stop every time to search for a word. It's not my goal. Actually, my goal is to enjoy the reading through exposition. So this book right here was a great book for it. I read that. I really like it. I mean, it was a great book, and that's why. So I finished Alice this month. I started on the first day of this month, July the 1st. So I read and I finished some days ago. And I don't know if I said already, but whatever. And I am reading also this book right here. Is A Death by a Black Hole, and it's Neil deGrasse's book. You know, you can see here. I think that I read a third of the book. I'm still reading. I read today, so I'm still reading. It's a physics book. You know, uh, I don't know. About this book, my commentary is about it. It is a great book. You know, it's a great physics book. He explains very well about the topics that he's talking about. He has a good way to express it through the you know, the language that he uses is very clear. Is that what I mean? The expression that he uses is very clear, and you know, let's say that he's talking about um, the photons on the sun and how they arrive on Earth. So there he will be talking about this, using examples, using explanations. This is a very clear language. However, I have some personal problems with the way that he sees the physics and the world, because I think that it's too reductionist. I think that the physics and the word itself, the science itself, is not this important, you know? There is a lot of things that are important too, that science and physics can't explain, you know? Physics can explain how the time works, how the space works, how the velocity works, and all those things, but physics can't say to you what is the space, for example. So yeah, we can work with space and time in the physics, but the 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 problem, like the physics can explain to you what space and time is. You know, that's a word for other types of knowledge, like for example the philosophical one. And this is approach to put the physics in a pedestal is not a thing that I personally like it. And yeah, I know he's astrophysics and he will tend to talk about physics in this passionate way. I can understand that. I really like physics too, but physics is not a thing that can explain everything, you know. But it's like that. Another thing that I'm feeling is that the reading is a bit hard to read, you know, to keep reading. I can read a chapter, like a time chapter, easily. I'm trying to do a paragraph per day or a chapter, however. I'm trying to do that, but it's quite hard. Uh, it's not like a very pleasant thing to keep reading this book for a long period of time. But it's a great book. And I feel like it's that type of book which you relax and just read, you know, like those series on TV that we watch, that we just sit down, like we ate a popcorn and watch the TV without thinking about it. We just consume it. I think that for me this book is what it is, you know. I read this book and I'm thinking of that I'm just consuming content. It's freely consummation of content. I don't need to think really about it because I'm just consuming content, and it's a good thing, you know. The other two books that I bought is those two, right? First, The Picture of Dorian Gray. It's a classical, as Alice was, and I hope to read it. It seems a great book. Actually, I cannot say about it properly. You know, I cannot give a lot of details about the book because I'm not um, aware of the book and what it's talk about. I just bought because I know it's a great book. It's a classical, but normally when I'm searching for books, I try to avoid to see things about the book because I want to have the experience of reading it and to enjoy it. Like, I do not want to have to see spoilers at all. Besides that, I bought Wuthering Heights. Is that pronunciation right? I don't know, but from Emily Bronte, and it's a very beautiful book. You should agree with me. Look at this. So I bought this book, and I want to read it. I will start to read it probably in August. Some days, like 8 days from today, and I hope to enjoy it. I was talking with ChatGPT about it, and he said to me that it is a more difficult book. Like, the language in the book is a bit hard to understand, but anyways, I will go through it and I will read it because reading is a thing that I'm like betting on because I know that if I keep reading in English, it will become more natural to me. Besides that, I just want to, let me take all my books here. Yay! I read the first one, Alice. I'm reading the second one, and I will start the fourth and the third later. Besides that, I'm just a bit lost with my English, not why. I'm consuming content, as I said to you guys, every day. Some days I study, some days I don't study. I'm trying to write in some things. I create some decky on Anki, but I'm really thinking about it, and those things. Like, I'm really thinking about if I should do a Anki decky or not. Like, one for my vocabulary, I was thinking of one for my vocabulary, and another for my speaking. My speaking, I really appreciate that, like the way that the Anki can help in my speaking, because it will help with my pronunciation mainly, which is a thing that feel I feel that I really should improve, because I don't feel like that my pronunciation is very good in English yet. I mean, I think that I'm understandable, but I want to sound more native and more proficient in general. Another thing is my writing. I'm trying to do some writing often, but I'm not doing quite. As I said to you guys, I have the problem of following through routines and those things, but little by little we shall get there, and we shall learn English together. I don't know if I learn English too, but anyways, so I'm betting on the thing of reading, right? Reading, consume content, and sometimes trying to do activity study. I'm studying grammar through some books, and that's it. Basically, I'm writing, I'm studying grammar. I will start to properly study my speaking, study my pronunciation and my accent for improve my speaking to to sound more flow. I need to keep doing my to speak or not to speak series, right? I forgot that. Actually, it's been a while since I record here, but I will try um to keep recording videos. So it is that's what I want to say. I see you guys soon, probably talking about another topic, and bye.